chip got.
Greetings, my friends. This is Stan. And today I'd like to combine the two programs that we do. First of all, here we are, What It Takes, which is our teaching video program, and of course our What It Takes radio program, which we call the Creator Master Entrepreneur. So one will be as you see, and for some of you, some will be as you hear. I was in a thrift store, and my daughter was there, and she found a hat, and she picked it up and put it on my head and said, "I'm buying it for you." And it was a hat that simply said this: "I'm old school." She said, "That's you, and that's your hat. And so you better wear it because your daughter is buying it for you." And I did, quite proudly. And, of course, caused some comment from time to time, and even an affirmation from time to time. Of course, either someone stole it, or more likely, because I'm old, I probably lost it somewhere, but I no longer have it. But I do admit that in many cases, that's how I feel. I wanted to do a program recently, but my wife talked me out of it, and I simply wanted to say, will the last three remaining Christian gentlemen please stand up? That's right. And you see, I think that one of the finest things that could be said about a man, at least, is he is a Christian gentleman. And you can put whatever characteristics or ethos you want into that comment. But I didn't do it. And again, I guess I'm old school. And that's part of the reason for my little bit shocking title today, as I simply put it. Yes, a number of my friends told me to get lost, and they don't care about me. That's the message I got. That's the message I got from them. Now, of course, you're rather shocked by that, but let me tell you what I mean by that. One of my fundamental principles that I have taught for years, and it is one of the most disregarded of the principles, is this: you cannot not communicate. May I say that one more time? You cannot not communicate. You are communicating all the time, whether you know it or not, whether you want to or not. And what I want to say is one of the things that we need to do as we move forward into hopefully a little more civility, if we get past this stage, both the COVID and the political crisis, hopefully when we get done with some of this stuff, some of us will want to raise our hands and say, stop. It is time for us to be ladies and gentlemen, and to be that to one another, no matter what. I've sometimes said with a smile, ladies and gentlemen, and if that is not a description, I trust it is an aspiration. Let me tell you what I really mean by my story. I've been sending a lot of both very personal and other emails to a variety of people, a variety of friends about some projects that I'm involved in. I've also been sending inquiries to people that I'm trying to reach out and connect with, who I've known for years, and trying to see if we can reconnect, if nothing else, just to reconnect. And the message I got back was, "I'm sorry, Stan. I don't care. Get lost." Now, here's what I'm saying. They didn't write that down and send it. But because they totally blew me off, totally ignored me, that's the message I received from them. That's, I mean, I know them. Some of them are good friends, long time. And they said nothing. Nothing. They didn't say, thanks for the letter, Stan. I'll think about it. Try and get back to you. Nothing. And so the message I got, you see, if you don't respond, then your no response, the message they receive is the one that's in their head. That's the message they got. And the message I got, I'll just be very honest about that, was I couldn't care less, Stan. Get lost. Now, I want you to think about that. When I pass through the grocery line at Bash's', even if I stand there and say nothing to the young woman or young man checking me out, I have communicated something. That's right. I've communicated with her. I've communicated with him. Now, if I say nothing and just stand there or just grrr, I have communicated. I've communicated incredibly so. Every contact I have with another person is a communication. And I cannot not communicate. And the same thing is true for you and me. And so I always try and make a point. If I get an email from you, I will get back to you. I will try and be honest, true, and clear, and fast. I don't get a message without trying to communicate back, because if I don't, then I have lost control of the message. It's whatever other message you happen to have in your head or flying around, you have communicated. Some of the worst people in the world are people who are most responsible. I one time had a pastor rather proudly say to me that he finally just got tired of getting suggestions and complaints from people. So when he got an email or a letter from somebody, it was at least mildly critical or something like that, he said, I just blow it off. I don't even answer them. And I said, oh, yes, you did answer them. You told them to get lost. You told them you don't care. You told them they were nothing. They're not important. Well, I didn't say that. And I said, that's the message they got from you. And you know what? I still find pastors doing that. I've even actually written a couple things to a pastor friend. Nothing. Stan, I don't have time to listen to you. Stan, I don't have time to care about you. I don't have time to even respond to you. Get lost. I'm not complaining, because I've learned that that is the way life is, and I know that's probably not what really is in their heart, mind, and spirit, that there are all kinds of other things. I'm aware of that, so I forgive and try and forget, but I do want you to know that if we are going to restore civility, we treat every person we come in contact with as the most important person in the world. I one time said to a friend who just didn't respond, oh, Stan, I'm sorry. I just had a lot of other things to do. And I said, if the President of the United States had called you, would you respond? He said, oh, yeah. I said, okay, now we know that you just didn't think I was that important. Now, see where I'm going? I just want all of us now. If I get an email, and even it's a forwarded thing, and I'm thinking bored to death, at least I write back and say, thanks for thinking of me. That's all. Trust your will. Best and blessings. Every contact, you either bless somebody or you curse somebody. There's no neutrality. They are better off because they were in touch and contact and communication with you, or they're worse off because of that. So, I'm just saying that I would ask us, as we seek to come out of this crisis and get through this political stuff, that part of the renewal that we have in 2021, we thought this was going to be a great year. 2020, going to see clearly now and all that, and it's turned out to be one of the worst of years. I was planning on it being a great year, and it's been an incredibly not great year in many ways. But I've also learned a lot about the power of prayer and resilience and things like that. And I can honestly say probably when I get through it, I'll look back at it in 3 years and say, you know, I needed that. That was good. I may even look up and say, okay, I get it. And thank you. So may I just encourage you to be much more aware. You cannot not communicate. You do it all the time, every day, in every way, 100 times a day, 1,000 times a day. You bless or you curse. Say thank you 100 times a day. Say I am grateful at least 25 times a day. Say blessings many times a day. Walk tall. Walk proudly. You are an important person. God's Spirit and God's incarnation even died to set you free from self and sin and selfishness. So why don't you use the opportunity to make a difference and to do what truly matters? I'm talking to myself as well as I'm talking to you, and perhaps even to a few of my friends who kind of gave me that message and didn't know it. And that means maybe we need to do some reconciliation. And by the way, I guarantee that you do too. Perhaps during this Days of Awe week, between the New Year of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, we use these days of awe to do something awesome, to do something that is somewhat miraculous. And one of the greatest miracles is the reconciliation of men and women, boys and girls, with themselves, with each other, and maybe even with God himself. There you go. Just some Trivia Thursday, and I hope it was helpful and useful, and I'd love to hear from you. Stan at stanhouston.com, or here's the easier one, just stanhouston@gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com. By the way, I can help you. I can help you in your life and business. I've got a little wisdom, insight, and truth, just like today, that might be helpful and useful to you. And I can help you and your sales force and your colleagues and your customers to make 2021 a much better year. Because what I'm saying right now is that when it comes to personal development, you must discover, and you must even insist if you are a leader, that the spiritual development of a person, I mean, yeah, we talk about their performance, we talk about their emotions, we talk about their physical, we talk about all those things, but the spiritual development of key people, the spiritual development of anyone who claims to be a leader or wants to be a leader. And we're not saying it has to be of any particular religion or faith, but the spiritual development of the man or woman who wants to make a difference and lead is vital to their resume, their CV, and their future success. I guarantee that is true. All the best and blessings to you. I wish you all the best, and I'd love to hear from you from time to time. Take care, and bye for now.